Hi and welcome to another Top 5 Wednesday, and this one is Top 5 First Sentences. And I kind of cheated because I feel like this is supposed to be the literal first sentence of a book, but I kind of like combined some first sentences. It'll make sense once I start reading them. So I don't really have a particular order because I don't think I have a favorite one. So whatever. First one is Confessions of a Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella, and actually I'm pretty sure I think all or most of the Shopaholic books start similarly. I'm not going to go get them to check. I will look before when I edit this. So, but the first line, well, the literal first sentence is just okay. So I'm going to keep going. It's okay, don't panic, don't panic. It's only a Visa bill. It's a piece of paper, a few numbers. I mean, just how scary can a few numbers be? And I have no idea, like, that's not really anything like profound or exciting, but it kind of sums up the book really, really well. Like her relationship with money and kind of the way a lot of people exist when it comes to money and dealing with issues and all of that. So I really like it. And the next one is The Indigo Spell by Richelle Mead, and the first lines are not a spoiler, so don't worry if you haven't read them. This wasn't the first time I'd been pulled out of bed for a crucial mission. It was, however, the first time I'd been subjected to such a personal line of questioning. Are you a virgin? I think it's hilarious, and if you know who's asking the question to the protagonist, I think it's even funnier because that character is hilarious. So I don't know, and it's just like an interesting way to start a book, I guess, if that makes sense. The next is Dairy Queen by Katherine Gilbert Murdoch, and the first few sentences in this is, this whole enormous deal wouldn't have happened, none of it, if Dad hadn't messed up his hip moving the manure spreader. So that's the first sentence, but I'm going to keep reading. Some people laugh at that, like Brian did. The first time I said manure spreader, he bent in half, he was laughing so hard. Which would have been hilariously funny, except that it wasn't. Which, I tried to explain how important a manure spreader is, but it only made him laugh harder, in this really obnoxious way he has sometimes. And besides, you're probably laughing now too. So what? I know where your milk comes from, and your hamburgers. It's funny, which the main character, DJ, she is very funny, but she's very quiet in these books, so I feel like a lot of people don't realize how funny she is, and it kind of shows the life that she's in, and it even shows you a little bit of Brian, even though it's just these quick sentences, and he's like the guy in these books, and it's funny. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm like from the country. Like I live across the street from a dairy farm. Are the cows out? They are, but they're like in a farther pasture, so you wouldn't be able to see them. But I live across the street from a dairy farm, so I think it's funny. Next is Pushing the Limits by Katie McGarry, and it's dialogue, sort of. My father is a control freak. I hate my stepmother. My brother is dead, and my mother has, well, issues. How do you think I'm doing? But what's interesting is she doesn't actually say these. It's all internal dialogue, and again, I think it just sums up, just like with Dairy Queen, I think it just sums up her personality, like echoes, and like in this really quick way who she is and what she's going through. So that's what I like. And then let's top it off with Uglies by Scott Westerfeld, and this one is kind of funny, so I feel like I should reread these books. It's been a long time. The early summer sky was the color of cat vomit. That's it. That's all you need to know. There is more, and it's funnier. She goes into even more descriptive detail, but that's all you need. All you need. Right there. That's how you start a book. Right there. Cat vomit. Now you want to read this, right? You want to read this. So those are my top 5 favorite sentences right now. I think first sentences are kind of a challenge because you want to like get somebody, but sometimes they're hard to describe in this kind of setting where if you haven't read the book, they wouldn't necessarily make sense. Like a lot of the way Colleen Hoover starts her books, I think, are amazing, but they're only amazing in context. So to read them out loud to you wouldn't really do anything. I kind of struggle with this one, but I try. So thanks for watching. Bye.